what's going through things at the end of the game there, with the penalties, and suddenly you end up having to kill a penalty, and it's 6-on-4. And what did you think of your team's performance at that point?
After we scored, I thought we backed off a bit. They made a push. One play makes a difference in the game, and Hookinson finds a way to get a puck through. We get up 2-1, and I've still got to look, and at that time of the game, you don't want to. You hope either side, really, whether we're on this side or that side, you don't want a penalty to decide a game at that time. And Nick Rivera hit a big-time shot at the end. Our goaltender made a couple of saves, and we did enough to win a really important hockey game.
The way the game started, where you're playing from behind and you guys were okay with the way your first period went after that, or?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, look, when you've got two teams like that, those are heavy games, and you're in a back-to-back for only the second weekend, and so, we're trying to manage guys understanding what it is and what type of mentality you have to have at that time of the game. And again, I thought our back half of the first period wasn't as good as our front half. Up until the 10-minute mark, even though we were down, I thought we'd done a good job and thought we'd put together a pretty decent period. And then, we come out in the second period, and that's just a really important equalizer at that time. It's 4-on-4 to start the period. Lucas Sauter's showing himself pretty well right now. He finds a way to get a puck through, and then Mark Michaelis, captain, goes in and grabs a rebound in the dirty area where we didn't get in there a lot, but he did and got us back to even. And I thought that got the building into it and got our bench into it.
You talked last night about how you thought your third period was your best period in the first three games, but your goaltender ended up being the guy tonight in the third period who really kind of helped you out with 14 saves. Do you see anything? Is it just a steady, everything you've seen from him going back to last year, or you see anything different in the way that period went for him?
Well, I was talking to Brennan Pottersay, our goaltending coach, before the game, and asked him what he thought of last night's goals. And him and Dryden's pretty critical of himself. He's a pretty good self-evaluator, and he wanted to be better. And he didn't, he hasn't forgot what happened on Saturday night up at Ingolstadt a year ago. And, he was pretty excited about getting back-to-back starts here this weekend, and I thought tonight he was a difference in the game.
And for Mark, what did you think of him last night, and was he better tonight? And obviously he gets that really important goal, has the assist there, wins some big face-offs late too. Was he better tonight, did you think?
Yeah. I think he's, Mark's pretty dialed right now on trying to be a complete player. He's killing penalties for us. He's in our first power play unit. He plays the most minutes of anybody up front, and he's handling it well, both mentally and physically. And so it was good to see him find a way to get on the score sheet a couple of times. And you need your best players to do that if you want to be successful in games like this.
Is Nathan Smith as confident an individual in practice and away from the rink as he appears to be on the ice? Because, he didn't look at all like a freshman player for you this weekend.
You know what? He's got a demeanor about him that he loves playing the game. And I think he's confident, but yet not cocky about how he approaches it. The one thing I really enjoy as a coach being with a freshman like that is he trains his tail off. A lot of times you need that freshman to come in and understand what it really means to be in shape and to work, whether it's, in practice or, this being his first weekend. I thought he was really good because he, as you said, he played with a poise and a calmness that you don't usually see in a freshman. I think that's because he puts a lot of work in training and making sure that he's in shape, that he can play those minutes, and I think it gives him a lot of confidence.
Does he have a little bit of edge to his game too? Because it doesn't seem like he's dipping his toe in the water. He seems to be going hard all the time. He's in control and he's playing smart, but he's going all the time, it seems.
The thing I like is he plays heavy when he needs to. Like whether it's there was a couple of stick battles tonight that I thought he won, and they were around our net. And for a guy that hasn't been around playing against the roster that we played against tonight, they're heavy. And you've got to be strong to get that done, both mentally and physically. And I thought he stayed in those battles. I think he'd like to take back the hooking penalty. But that's learning. It's a learning curve, and the guys picked him up. It's one thing I liked about our bench tonight, too, is when he took the penalty, our captain said, hey, we've got him, and went out and killed the penalty.
What does it say just about, I know you probably knew this about your team coming into the season, but the depth to overcome not having a guy like Jake in the lineup the whole weekend, but you're still able to get 3 out of 4 points against a team like North Dakota?
You know what? Hopefully that continues to be a strength and that it gets better because we get healthier. Dallas Gerads, who'd been playing very well for us, didn't play either game this weekend either. And I just, with Nathan stepping in and playing the minutes and the role that he played, he picked up some of the slack. Lucas Sauter, again, finding a way to impact a game. You need those guys to step up. And then we had some vets. Mark was held off the score sheet last night. And for him to step up and get us back to even and then support the one that ends up winning it for us just says a lot for our depth, and we're going to continue to lean on that.
Okay, thanks, Hasty.
Thanks. Yep.